Hey folks, good afternoon. I wanted to make a quick video about Fury of Dracula Digital Edition. This my thoughts, what I like, what I don't like. Should you get it, right? Um, Full disclosure, I've played a lot of um, version 2 of Fury of Dracula in real life. So that's the game that I own. I'm gonna try and move this a little bit. That's the game that I own and myself and my family has played for years. This is the fourth edition. Um, if you don't know the difference between the edition, doesn't really matter, but there is some differences, and I might point out one or two things along the way, along those lines. But for that, let's dig right in. So let's start with some of the good stuff. In terms of the actual, I mean, it's a sexy looking game. There's no doubt about it. I mean, if you're going through this the way they have the animation and the characters moving, when screens are moving around, um, the music's nice. Hold on 1 second. Right? Got some nice dramatic music there, right? Nice stuff. Um, if you look at the other cards as well, let's see, I think it's in library. Right? If you look at the cards, maybe the combat cards, you could see the dude moving and bending the gun and stuff. Um, just really nice put together. Um, one of the things about Fury of Dracula, because if you never played it before, um, it is a one of the more fiddly games, to put it nicely. So it's nice that it's online, right? Version 2 was fiddly. Version 4, which is this, is not much better. A lot of little rules in between, right? But Fury of Dracula as a board game really does an excellent job of, we'll say, capturing the drama and the feel of trying to hunt down Dracula. It really does. And I feel this game does a very similar. It nailed it in terms of that feel, right? You can see the animation, all the spooky stuff going on, right? You get the splatter of blood here in a second. Just it really does feel um, nice, and you're feeling a part of that. Yeah, there you go. Um, in that sense, the game is great, right? I can't speak more about how they really nailed um, that that feel, that environment, right? So that's the really good side of it. Let's go to the other side, the bad side, and then we'll do the gooey center last. To get it out of the way, the real bad side of this is that this game normally plays five. So you have one person being Dracula, four people playing the hunters, right? And the game is pretty much right now locked into a 1v1. It sounds like, reading the notes from the developer, that they are working on that. They are already testing it, making sure it's solid before they release it. But that is something that definitely needs to be fixed. Playing it one on one is nice, one person being Dracula, one person being the hunters, but it's not ideal, right? We've always played this as a five-player game, and part of that fun is having all the hunters um, talk to each other and interacting at the table while Dracula is there doing his schemes, right? So you want to recapture that. The developer seems to know that, and they're working on it, right? I haven't played the online game yet. I'll probably do another of these once I've played one. I just haven't had the time with real life work, all that kind of stuff, to make it happen. But I want to sit down for a good. I mean, this game can take a number of hours to play if you've never played it before. Um, so you want to make sure you have the time set aside before you go and sign up with somebody. So that's it. How's the game itself, right? How's the gameplay? How does it work? How solid is the whole experience, right? And I'll tell you off the top, it's pretty good. I'll just start a game. So if you do a local game, right, real quick, you can set up, the players as you want, right? You can be drive the computer playing Dracula. I'm playing the four hunters. Um, yeah, right. So let's start with the computer player first, because you don't always have 3, 4 hours to play a game. So having a good computer opponent um, is important, right? So one thing I'll mention here before I start a game for a couple minutes is the computer experience. um, if you're playing Dracula and the computer is playing the players, winning with Dracula is pretty dang easy, right? Um, to be honest, you could almost play without the advanced rules and the power cards, and you would have, I feel, a pretty good chance of avoiding the hunters. Um, the computer as the hunters needs work, no doubt about it. That being said, it's probably a pretty complex, AI problem. Got to do some machine learning for sure and kind of crank out a good opponent. But yeah, what it's doing today, if you're Dracula against the computer hunter players, you're going to win. Still fun. I still enjoy doing it from time to time and playing around with it, but you're going to win. There's no doubt about it. The other way around is more challenging. If you are the hunters and the computer is Dracula, I've done it a few times. I've won most of the time, so it's not like I don't usually win. I think I lost once. I think I lost once, and I think it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and I wanted to go to bed, and I just said, just let's see what happens, and I lost that round, right? But it is definitely more challenging with you being the hunters and the computer playing Dracula, because finding Dracula is tough, man. It just is. So now some of that is, and this is why I mentioned that in the beginning, that I'm used to playing version 2 of FOD. This is version 4. Um, I think I like the improvements they made between the two versions. This is the first time I've been exposed to it. Um, some of the differences for those who don't know is there is definitely more combat in version 4. So being well armed with your hunters and going and making sure you're ready to take on a vampire, man, you better be ready, right? You better be ready to rock, because it is not an easy task, and you will come out, if you win, you will come out bloody on the other end. There's no doubt about it. I'm still learning some of the changes to the items, so I think my strategy has to change definitely a little bit from what I'm used to, but that is definitely a big change, as well as I'd say version 2 of Fury of Dracula. When you play the board game, there's a lot more peaks and valleys in a sense, where you could feel like, oh, hope is lost, and then you get a card which is basically buff cards of some of the ones that are in the game, and man, you can be on Dracula quick. In fact, I would say it's, once the hunters get on your tail, it's pretty tough to lose them in version 2. Um, in version 4, this version, it's still a challenge, but you got more of a shot. You definitely, as Dracula, more hidden and being able to um, evade the hunters more than in version 2, in my opinion. Now, again, I'm kind of new to version 4. I'll probably get version 4 veterans saying you're doing something wrong. I get it. I'm learning the version 4 and the best strategies. And yeah, so yeah, I mean, that's one point. Um, the interface itself works pretty good. I like it. Like, so I'll place some players here. I'm not going to go for optimal placement here. Why don't we put someone. We'll put Goldie here, and we'll put Stewart. I like putting him maybe just somewhere nearby in England. I always want to make sure no one's doing that England gambit. Put Van Helsing maybe somewhere over here. And I'll put Mina with Goldie so she can use. And that's one of the differences with this game with Mina, that you can, if you're with um, another hunter, you can use Mina's ability to basically block out all sections of the map, right? So right now on my turn with her, I'll be able to basically search all of France and say Dracula's not in France, right? And then quickly move to Italy or Germany and do the same, right? Which is nice. It just means that Dracula is going to be somewhere else, like Spain, England, whatever. So I'm still kind of getting used to the best spots to put them. Do I always do the center? Do I split them up? Like in version 2, I'm used to taking all of these characters and spreading them through the map because Mina doesn't have that same ability in version 2. So it's definitely a little different for me in the initial setup and best way to track it down. And that's probably the thing I'm working on the most with this, but I'm trying to keep them together for now. Um, the interface itself works pretty well. It's pretty self-explanatory once you've read the rules and the differences. I had no problem picking up the rules for Fury of Dracula. I would understand if other people did, right? Mainly because, um, hey, I got an ally already. Yay. No. Boop. One of the things, because it is pretty similar to version 2, this version of the game. Yeah, it's different. It definitely is. But that being said, it's not that different that you're totally lost, right? So, maybe I'll send him up here this time. It's not like you're totally lost, right? And that's kind of the key. Um, so it's easy to pick up if you have the older version. I'm getting distracted because I'm actually trying to think a little bit about what I'm doing, and I probably shouldn't be because I'm probably just making some silly mistakes. One thing that is definitely needs improvement on the game, right? This is like the only thing I could say about the way this interface works once you understand the rules. And I'm not going to try and explain the rules here. Is this? Um, Let me just use the special here for Mina for 1 second. Here's my problem that needs fixed with this game, with this part of the interface. Otherwise, it's pretty spot on. So I'm using Mina. I'm using her psychic bond. It's a yes or no question to confirm. I get it. But when you're doing other things in FOD like this, where you're being quizzed about doing something, right? You got to make a decision in the game, right? The problem is that this question is it's basically a modal window. Like you can't pick anything else, and that's kind of bad, right? Especially right now when it's a 1v1 game. So let's say this is a different question. Maybe I want to pick what weapon I want to throw away. Just an example, right? And now I want to go over to this side of the screen, right? And say, I want to go over here, right? And I want to see what my other hunters have, right? Let's say I want to review what Goldie has, or what the Doctor has, or what Van Helsing has. Before I make this decision, I can't do that, right? I can't go here. I have to make this. I can't go back and think through my decision. And especially when you're playing the hunters, right? And you're playing 4 characters at once because it's a 1v1, say, when you're online, for example. Sometimes you forget, like, was this weapon on this person or this person? And sometimes that matters. Or do I still, I thought I had this event on one of my characters. Let me double check. I can't do that. Like, I can't go around and check what my guys have before I make this decision once this box pops up. And I think out of all the things, that's the only one that gets me, right? Actually playing the game, right? Because I got four characters, they all have weapons, they all have events. I have to either track it myself or have total perfect memory on all four of my characters. And that should be a fix, right? That's the only thing I would fix about the gameplay. Um, Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with it. Otherwise, I think once you've got it, once you understand the rules and you've played a few games and you've gotten through it, um, it's a nice game. The theme's there. Love the music. All the things I said before. And my 2 cents is, what is my 2 cents? I if you're a fan of Fear of Dracula, I would get the game. I have no regrets spending the. I think it's on sale for $18. Ooh, I picked two cities. Let's do something. Say Sarajevo, and I don't know. I'll pick something off the beaten trail. Come on, okay, give me that one. Yeah. See, now I'm saying that. There we go. All right, we got one. Interesting. I would like that interface to be a little bit better too, where I'm picking that particular card. It would be nice to say, okay, you picked city X to confirm it, you picked city Y to confirm it, they're not there. As opposed to me trying to click on something, getting it to respond or not responding, and go from there. So there's a little cleanup that could happen on some of those questions that pop up. But that aside, I the game is fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy the interface. I'm sure this weekend, if I get the time to play an online game with someone, um, and maybe I'll um, stream that this weekend. I no problem, right? Yeah, it would be nice. Let's try this. Get some more stuff. Got sense of emergency, not bad. A little early for that, but Dracula's going to do his dark call. He almost does, so I must be nowhere close to him. So I like it. I like it. It's clear what everything means. Like I said, those pop up boxes need work, but I could live with that. I would like it improved, but I could live with that for some time until they lived it. I think the biggest thing that people are banging down their door for is the is to have a 5 player game, have 4 versus 1, and not have this be 1 versus 1. But besides that, the game is solid. It does not crash on me. Um, I don't have I mean, I have a good laptop, don't get me wrong, but this thing is like, I don't know, 3 years old, 4 years old, something like that. And I haven't put, it's running 8 gig of RAM. I think has an i8 processor. I forget. It needs a new video card, it has a crap video card, which I'm going to replace this Christmas. But running this is no problem. It doesn't crash. I don't think it really kills me in terms of CPU or anything like that. You don't need a monster to run this game, which is what you would expect, right? I'm just taking a look right now. Yeah, it's doing fine. I know you can't see my CPU. I'm actually looking to see how I'm doing with it, but yeah, I'm okay. But I think it's taking up like 70% of my CPU, probably because I'm also doing this stream at the same time. But yeah, I would get it. Um, give these guys some support. Let them fix the 4v1 um, online part of it, right? Let them make a few tweaks to the interface to kind of make it a little better. Just a bit more information in those pop-up boxes and being able to go after these folks while you're playing. and this game's good. I mean, I feel this game is really um, 80% of the way there, right? 80, 85% of the way there, somewhere in there. Um, I know I talked about and was beating on the AI a little bit when you're when you're Dracula. Um, sure, it could be better, but to be honest, it's probably a pretty decent AI to try and pick up, right? It wouldn't surprise me if they have a tough time making a good hunter team being able to hunt down a person. Um, Maybe it's easier than I think. I never really programmed any AIs before like that. Um, but but yeah, if you like the game, I would get this game. If you never played this before and you like the theme, then I would get it, right? Um, if you're on the fence and you don't really care about Fear of Dracula that much, then yeah, maybe wait until they fix one or two things. But if you're a fan of this, dude, go for it. I do like it. I do like it. All right, that's about it. This took a little longer than I thought I did, but you get the idea. Oh, I want to find Dracula so bad. Let's go. Let's see what's in Italy. Yep, have him jump in the ocean. And to be honest, I was looking online on Board Game Geek to see if they had some good human, we'll say human, how to play the hunters, right? I can't say I've seen any really great strategy guides. If anyone has a really good one, whether I should be playing these two together all the time, I almost kind of feel like when I put my guys here together, everyone's just going to go somewhere else anyway. So I'm kind of mixed on how good Mina's ability is. That sucks. That's the second newspaper I got before those three cards. So it's just like, this is a waste. I hate that. Oh well. So there's no sense doing that. All right, dawn or dusk. Sure. All right. I'm too busy playing and not ending this video. I just want to see if it happens to be in Italy before I stop it. Give me stuff for him. Not Dracula stuff. God dang it. Fine. Uh, sure. Great. Wah, wah, wah. No, I want to use her. God dang it. All right, be that way. Well, she gets weapons. All right, you get the idea. All right, folks. Have a good one. Hopefully, this was useful. I certainly hope it is if you're a Dracula player. Um, I do think you should get it. This might. Ooh, he's in the water already. Ooh, he might be in Ireland. I'm gonna have to check Ireland. All right, folks. Have a good one. Laters.